GameStop today, no doubt. But you know, it's in a responsible manner. So, good morning, everybody. Good morning, everyone on YouTube. Let's get right at it. It's a very busy day. So, the first thing on everyone's mind, our Discord channel has been on fire since like 4 a.m. Because of GameStop and AMC. Congrats to everybody who have been swinging these names. Honestly, take your profits. AMC, I know we've got some people swinging it. Santi, who is the head of our swing trading room, called to swing AMC from the $4 range. You're up, what, 15 bucks? Take your damn profits at the open. You nailed it.
He called it at 315 specifically was the.
Oh really? 315? All right, you're up.
Yep.
You're up freaking almost $17. Take your profits at the open. You're done with that trade. You know, it might go higher, but just be responsible and take that profit. GameStop. Jesus, what can I say? So let's talk about how to trade GameStop today. Here's the way I see it. If it breaks above 254 range, which is about to do it right now, you can go long, but you're gonna have to put your stops. Check out the range on this. If you take that, you have to put your stops at around 230. You're talking about a 24-point range on GameStop right now, assuming that it holds this and open and by the open, right? If it trades below, if it breaks the 200 range, and definitely if it breaks the pre-market low of like the 180 range, 183, 184, I mean, we can see a short on this. I have no idea what the hell this stock is going to do today. Let's just trade the chart. So those are the ranges that I'm seeing on GameStop. If it rips, the first area you've got to see is 276. If it breaks above 276, honestly, 310 range, and then pre-market highs, which is 365. If that's where it wants to go, then so be it. We could trade it and make the money on the way up. Just be very careful with this stock today, all right? With AMC, I mean, it's at $20 right now. It broke out of that pre-market bull flag that it had really nicely at 17 and change. So for me at the moment, I have to wait until I get a pullback on AMC before I can even touch it. It's gone a little parabolic. Look at the volume spike it's had right now. Is this accurate? Is my chart?
Yeah.
55 million shares right now? No.
Right now it just finished doing 15.8. It currently has 9.3. 9.4.
Okay, yeah, my chart is giving me wrong info. All right. Yeah, for some reason my volume was not accurate, but anyways, I got to wait for a pullback. So if it can retest $18 and if it holds, then we can bounce it. If it breaks $18 and we see it breaking below 15 bucks, this is going for a short. It's going to be some profit taking, massive profit taking on AMC. So just watch those areas. At the moment, with the way it's trading, guys, already at $21. I got to wait for a bull flag setup. I got to wait for some sort of setup. I don't trade parabolic moves like this. And I'm sure Taj would say the same thing. So we'll call out AMC. Wait for it. Don't jump right in at the gates. It could pull back nasty on you. Some other trades that I'm going to be watching. BBBY falls in the same category as well. So it just broke out of that neckline around $40.50. It's already trading $3 above that. So pre-market high is $46.73. It looks like it's going to go and approach it. So if it does, if we see it break that pre-market high, you should definitely be long in it. At the moment for me, I've got to wait for some sort of pullback, some sort of consolidation. So if it can hold the $42 range, maybe some sort of bull flag setup, we can go long, break it out, and test that pre-market high, maybe even rip it to $50 because all these stocks are on steroids today. So if that's where it wants to go, let's take it up there. So BBBY is going to be on my A list along with GameStop and AMC. And guys, I'm going to be watching the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is approaching the 20-day moving average on the daily chart. The 20-day is at 378. If we break that 378 area, the S&P 500 pretty much has no support until around the 372, 370 range. And that's on the daily, that's looking at the 50-day moving average. So I think the S&P 500 is going to be in play today. The extreme moves that we're having in stocks like GameStop, AMC, Bed Bath & Beyond, Virgin Galactic, and all these other names that we've been trading, I think are creating anxiety in the market. Look at the VIX. The VIX is at 27. You know, anything, and once the VIX starts approaching 30, you know, you start getting into some trouble. And this market is due for a correction. I shared with the report with you guys a couple days ago. You got institutions like Bank of America and all these other institutions saying that the market's going to pull. The correction is coming, and they're talking about a 10 to 15% correction. So just be ready for that. If you've got cash on the sidelines like I do, I pretty much am 100% cash. So if the market pulls, just be ready to use your money to invest it, and invest it in blue chip names. Don't invest it in bullshit names. Invest it in stocks that actually have intrinsic value. You know, like Microsoft, Apple. You know, stocks like that. Don't invest in stocks that can bite you in the ass. You know, if things go sour in the market. So just be very careful. Speaking of Microsoft and Apple, Microsoft, Taj and I, we swung 235 calls. I played a straddle. Taj only played call options. Right now, we're in the money with the calls. Let's see if Microsoft holds. If Microsoft trades higher than 238, we can break it out, possibly go long. But if it fails this support area around 236, 235, we're in some trouble. We're in some trouble, especially if the market wants to pull a little bit more. AMD, I'm going to be watching this today as well as a day trade. I did trade straddle options, 95 calls and 95 puts. My puts are in the money by almost 4 points. So I might take my profits on the straddle right here. But if AMD breaks above 92 range, we can possibly go long to bounce it. However, if it trades below this, I would say like 91, we would need to test the double bottom that it created at around $90 in pre-market. And if it breaks $90, then we're in, you know, the stock is in trouble for more downside. So I'm watching those names as well. Keep an eye on Facebook and Apple, these two stocks, and also Tesla. These three stocks, big mega cap stocks, are reporting earnings today. Later today, I will announce some straddle options that I will play on all three of them. So keep an eye for that. I will announce it in the swing trading room. Look at Bed Bath & Beyond already wanting to approach the pre-market high. So with Bed Bath & Beyond, I personally have to wait for a pullback, some consolidation. I'm not going to trade right out of the open like that. These parabolic moves can get you in trouble. Look at AMC, for instance. AMC popped to 26, just pulled to 23. Imagine if you bought 1,000 shares at 26 thinking it's going to go to 30, and immediately you're down almost $4,000.
Yeah.
Got to be careful, guys. Got to be careful. Even if you did 100 shares. Let's say you can only afford 100 shares. You're down immediately $400 on that trade. With this type of market, don't let FOMO get the best of you. FOMO can easily get the best of you in a market like this. So just be very careful, please. I'm actually like begging you guys to just please be careful. Okay? This market looks good, but you can get hurt. All right? I've got some other names that are going to be on my B list, but I'm going to give the time back to Taj so that he can go over his A list. But I just went over pretty much my A list, and once again, guys, trade responsibly. Taj?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I was responding to Paula. Because Paula asked, you know, this goes for everyone. I know we kind of mentioned this earlier, but for, you know, people who kind of came in, who missed the part earlier, you know, if you bought AMC at those levels that Santi mentioned, those $3 to $4 range, and it just traded up to almost 25, you know, almost 26 bucks. Look at the pullback it just had.
Yep.
It just pulled back, you know, a $25. Well, it's crazy calling this a $25 stock now.
I know.
It's pulled back 5 points. 5 points in a matter of like 1 to 2 minutes.
Yep.
So that just goes to show the volatility that's going on in this name. So I advise anyone who's holding this position, think about it this way. Did you expect to wake up this morning and see AMC at 25, 20 something dollars? And if you can realistically, you know, be honest with yourself and say, no, I didn't even expect it to be at $8, $9, $10, just think about that. Time is money in the market, right? The quicker that you can hit these price targets, the more, I would say, the more urgent you should be to sell these positions at these prices, right?
Right.
If I know I bought AMC at $3, $4, and within a couple of days it's up at 20 something dollars, hey, that's a home run trade. That's more than a grand slam. That's a trade that can make your entire month, maybe even your entire year,
Right.
right? So, in situations like this, don't let your greed go further than it needs to be,
Right.
right? Holding at 25, 26, 27, like it's great, but what's that feeling going to feel like if, it's trading at $22 now, and as soon as the market opened, it's down to $14? How would you feel?
Right.
Rather than possibly missing out on an even bigger move, right? You would feel it would suck, but it wouldn't be nearly as bad as that feeling of a stock pulling against you when you're up much more than you anticipated, right? So I share that to say, if you're in AMC or even in GameStop, remember, we can always get back in for a day trade.
Right.
There's no reason to, stress yourself out and, be antsy with the position, because that's just not a good mental state to be in with trading. So just wanted to start off with that. But other than that, AMC, I guess we'll just keep it here. Alex and I were watching it a little earlier, right when we hopped in the room. It was actually forming a nice bull flag here right before the pop to $18. We were watching it. We were hoping it was going to consolidate, but it ripped, right? So we missed the entry there. It shot up nicely. I think the risk would have been around like $1, maybe $1.50.
Mm-hmm.
And it ripped up. I mean, I don't know how many points. What is that? $8? Maybe $8 price level.
Yeah.
It's insane for a stock that was under $20.
Mm-hmm.
So what we'll have to do now is just wait for some consolidation, wait for some basing action. Remember, do not feel pressured to hop into this name immediately. Do not let FOMO affect you. This is one of the best times to trade, but also one of the most dangerous times to trade. I cannot stress that enough, because a lot of you may be feeling FOMO. Maybe you were holding AMC, or maybe you were like, oh, I should have traded AMC. Listen, what's done is done. What happened has happened. Let's look at the chart and trade accordingly, right? Let's keep the system in place and look for our opportunities when I identify them. So for AMC, I really don't see a reasonable entry anywhere right now. We'll have to let the market play out a little bit. Hopefully we can get a quick sell-off or something like that. It forms a bottoming tail bar, and then we can look for an entry.
Yep.
Right? So that's kind of the way that I'm looking at AMC out of the gates. Another stock I like is Virgin Galactic Space,
Yep.
SPCE. Had a really nice gap up last night during the aftermarket hours. It went up to about $48. Had a steep pullback to $40. However, now we're getting a nice bounce. It's trading right around that $45 price level. So the way I see it, it's getting a nice bull flag, actually right at a resistance point at $45. So if we could break $45 right out of the gates, we can throw our stops around 44, maybe even a little tighter, around 44.20, and look for a pop. Maybe we can test that intraday high of $48. This is a name that we've been trading all week. We've been talking about it since it broke out above that $34 price level. I compared it to Tilray, and look, it's damn near behaving like Tilray now. So
Hey.
definitely going to continue to trade this one.
Look at GameStop, $300.
Wow.
Look at that
Wow.
5-minute candlestick, guys. That is a $50 5-minute candlestick. So you tell me, if you want to get in this right now on this 5-minute candlestick, where is your risk? You would have to risk 50 points on this 5-minute candlestick if you wanted to, find a risk reward ratio, right? So it's
But funny is you identified the breakout level, right? 254.
I said
So
it. Yep.
you could have, you'd be up 2-1. It's crazy. You would have had to risk like $20-something. But I mean, there's your 2-1 right there. So
Literally right where I said 254 was the breakout. That's exactly where it broke out. Look at it. It's just
Yeah.
nuts. But what was the risk on that trade? Like I mentioned, you would have to risk 20 points, right? So granted, hindsight is 2020. Now you can look at it and be like, man, I would have made money. But if it pulled 20 points, would you have been comfortable with it?
right.
That's the question you got to ask yourself.
I mean, each options contract, that's a minimum, probably, at least $1,000, if not more, probably 12, 13. I would argue probably closer to 14, 1500
Yeah, if it pulled
per contract.
if it pulled 20 points on you, yeah, you'd probably lose 2 grand on just 20 points of a pullback.
Yeah.
So
And hey, if you're comfortable with that, then by all means,
yeah,
by all means. But you have to be aware of both sides of the trade, and that's one thing I think a lot of these traders trading these names, if they're aware of that, right? Some of them may be. I'm pretty sure there's some real traders trading this, obviously. But to the other side, you have a lot of people that are just throwing money at this name and aren't aware of the downside.
right.
So when that downside happens, we'll see, man. We'll see. Hopefully,
Woo.
it just keeps going up, right? Stocks only go up.
Stocks only
That's
go
what
up,
I
man.
heard.
So, oh
So,
man,
yeah, I guess we'll just watch that run for now. But another name that I like is Boeing. They reported earnings and did terribly. They were well below their estimated. They're expected to lose about $1.80 per share.
Yep.
It lost about $15 per share. So it did terrible.
yep,
Absolutely terrible. So Boeing, the way I see it, it's forming a bear flag down here. Had a huge sell-off. It reported actually this morning.
Yep.
GameStop's literally about to hit a new high.
Yep.
That is crazy.
there it is. This might just be a $500 stock.
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
There it is.
New high.
There it is.
Jesus, man.
Huh?
So for Boeing, I mean, if it breaks below like 193.47, you can play it short. Throw your stops around 195.70.
Yep.
So you're looking at about 2-point risk. But if GameStop breaks below that, I mean, there's really no support until around 180, 190. So you have a lot of room to the downside. Wow.
Did you see that? It pulled to
down like
325.
350.
Oh, I saw it pull to 325, and then this is crazy. That is
Oh my God.
that's nuts, man.
Wow.
Well, okay. If there's anything I could say now about GameStop, don't touch it right out of the open. Because look at what it's done in the past 5-10 minutes. So if you're thinking about even getting in this in the open, where do you put your stops? 300? Guys, seriously. If you're not already in it, don't touch it at this point. This is too damn dangerous.
This is wow, man.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's nuts. I've been trading for 7 years, man. I've never seen a short squeeze like that before. That's incredible.
never.
Yeah.
I've also never seen a short squeeze above 100% though. So this is like
Mm-hmm.
the perfect storm. You have a huge herd of retail traders, trading this name, and then you have, Elon Musk tweeting about it, giving it more exposure,
Right.
adding kind of validity to it, even if it, probably was a joke. And then you have, short sellers, coming out and speaking out against it. And now it's like that rebellious attitude towards the short sellers. And it's just the perfect storm. Oh, and then the short float percentage above 100%. So,
Right.
it's back down to 355. It just pulled, a slight pullback was, look at this, 40
Oh!
points.
What the? Did you see that? Oh my gosh. You see?
It's back down to 320, 330.
In a minute.
This is...
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't even finish my pre-market analysis because it's
Yeah.
incredible watching the stock. I mean, this like Alex said, I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. So this is a moment
Yeah.
in the stock market. It's just kind of like watching something you've never seen happen before.
Mhm.
It's incredible. So. Sorry if the pre-market analysis is a little. We keep referencing back to it, but it's just incredible.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I mean, honestly, that was most of the list. I think you covered pretty much most of the names that we'll be watching. I mean, AMC is definitely going to be at the top of my list. GameStop, honestly, I'm not touching GameStop just because the spreads on the contracts.
Yep.
That's just me. Definitely feel free to trade it. I'm not telling anyone not to trade it, but just be aware of the risk. That's the big thing that we want to get across here. Just be aware of that risk.
Yeah. One other name I do want to bring up is KOSS. It's a name that's gapping up pretty significantly. Closed yesterday at $10, trading at $18.50 in pre-market. So the way I see it, if it breaks above $21, you can go long. You can put your stops at like $19.50 to protect yourself. So that's a $1.50 risk on the trade. If it breaks below 18 bucks, I'm gonna go ahead and short it. And my first target on it will be around the $15 range on the short. If it breaks below the 15, you can see 13 and change. So that's what I'm seeing on KOSS. And some other names, I did like the Boeing idea, Taj. I like that a lot, so I'll be watching that one very closely as well. Another name to keep an eye on as well, BYND. Yesterday had an extremely aggressive pop, and it did slowly sell off. It popped all the way to like almost $230, closed at 186. It's kind of like on my B list. I'm gonna just watch it today to see how it trades. It hit a low in pre-market of 174 and it's traded up 10 points. So watch BYND today. There could be some good movement on that stock today. Another name that I just want to throw out there is Airbnb. Airbnb made a new all-time high yesterday. I know it's pulling back a little bit today, but keep an eye on it. The pre-market action, it looks like it's set a double bottom at around 181.50. If it holds that double bottom, if it breaks above 186, we could possibly go long Airbnb, put our stops at like 184. So that's a $2 risk. If it breaks that double bottom in pre-market, you've got some downside on it. So I'm going to just keep an eye on that one as well. So there's a lot of names to watch today. From the names that we've covered, just mark up your charts, mark up the support and resistance zones like we encourage every single day. And trade safely, trade responsibly. Don't let FOMO get the best of you today. I know it's crazy what we're witnessing, but please don't let that FOMO get the best of you. Because FOMO can cost you a lot of money. I've experienced FOMO before, and I've lost thousands of dollars because of FOMO. I don't trade like that anymore, so you'll never hear me lose, several $1,000s on a trade because of FOMO. Because I've learned my lesson years ago. So with that being said, for everyone on YouTube, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Trade responsibly.